How's it going, everyone? Marriland here, and that's right, it's time for more Pokemon Sword and Shield. So, last time we checked out Route 1, caught some new Pokemon, and now it's time to arrive in Wedgehurst. And I have good news for you. Yes, you can sit on benches. Oh, thank goodness. This is absolutely, without a doubt, the best returning feature since its absence since Gen 6. So yes, now my weary legs will be okay. So yeah, Wedgehurst here, or Wurstburg, or Wursthedge, or whatever I end up accidentally calling it. It's a pretty nice city. I love the look of it. But before we do too much exploring, let's get the business out of the way first. So we gotta go over to this house that was pointed out last time. And as we arrive here, it's Leon! Well done, you reached the goal and managed to find the Pokemon Research Lab. You did a far sight better than I did my first time. I'm hopeless with directions. See how your world has already grown, all thanks to having Pokemon with you? I know I'm sure glad I've got Charizard with me to keep me from getting lost all the time. Now, in we go! I really like that, how he gets lost without Charizard. Like, he's this ultra cool guy, but he has no sense of direction. I've got to give it to Professor Magnolia. Everything in here looks fascinating. Wow, I kept thinking fantastic. Dog! It's a dog! Or a walking bread loaf. With a face. One of the two. What is it today, Leon? Looking for info on another never before seen super strong Pokemon. I wish you'd stop with these outlandish requests. Good to see you too, Yamper. Yamper here is a real champ when it comes to helping you find your way around. He came to my rescue plenty of times back in the day when I got lost on the road. Oh yeah, and that's his trainer, Sonia. What can I say about Sonia? Well, I like the way she cooks. She makes food you can gobble down in a flash. What kind of an introduction is that? Did you forget we were rivals during our gym challenge? It wasn't just Yamper helping you out, I did too. Anyway, nice to meet you. Name's Sonia. I'm the professor's assistant. This is Marriland. He's a new Pokemon trainer. Set him on the right path, would you? Oh, I guess that's the path. Alright, sure. What does he think I am? He's always got his head in the clouds. It's no wonder he gets lost all the time. Oh, looks like you've got a Rotom phone. Hey there, Rotom. Rotom phones are handy little things, aren't they? They've got a map and a navigation tool. That said, Leon still gets lost, so... Oh, sorry. So tell me, do you know a lot about Pokemon? You bet, or not really? Not really. Don't worry. Here, I'll make it so you can use the Pokédex on your Rotom phone. Don't worry, you get it even if you say, I know a lot about Pokemon. So yeah, with that, you get the Pokédex. Just so you know, that Pokédex is a gift from my Gran. Could you let Gran know that you received the Pokédex? She lives in the house down along Route 2. Sure thing. Alright, yeah, it's a pretty big lab with a lot of books and a dog. You can read some of the books if you're interested in some flavor text, but that's not necessary for doing anything more here. Hey there, trainer, sorry to stop you. You just left the Pokemon lab, right? So that means you got a Pokédex, yeah? I love talking to new trainers and giving them useful stuff. Cool, thanks for the potion, buddy. It's a potion. Use it when your Pokemon's HP, their hit points, gets low. HP is like a Pokemon's stamina. You can even use potions during battle. Knowledge is power. It's a good idea to talk to lots of different people and read everything you can on your journey. Yeah, so they are indeed called hit points, in case you were wondering. I know a lot of people kind of go, wait, hit points? It's not health points? It's a term that dates back to, actually, I think even before Dungeons and Dragons, but it was definitely popularized with that back in the 80s. And ever since then, it's kind of become this term that's used to describe health. But anyway, yeah, so over here, to the right of the lab, you can find this lovely, rare candy just kind of nestled over in this little foresty area here that'd be very easy to miss if you weren't looking for it. Now, a rare candy can be used to raise your Pokemon's level by 1, permanently, which is very useful. However, I'd recommend holding on to it and saving it for later because you're going to gain levels very fast in the beginning, and it's definitely much better to use it when you need, say, 8 or 9,000 or even 10,000 experience per level as opposed to a few hundred, you know? Alright, so as you go further here, now that you got the Pokédex, and I think you can actually check out a lot of this place even without visiting the lab, but why would you want to do that? Got your Pokédex from Sonia? Then it's time to meet lots of different Pokemon and start building up a strong team. But battling strong Pokemon in the wild can leave your team in a bad way, not to mention what battling another trainer can do. Luckily, we've got Pokemon centers. Luckier yet, they're dead easy to spot. They look the same wherever you go. Come on, Marriland, bet you've never been inside one. Well, we'll see about that. Level with me, Marriland. Is this your first time in a Pokemon Center? Okay, so you can say yes, and he'll explain the general functions of it, but if you say, of course not, he'll actually just skip it. Like, he will respect your time, and I think that's a very good approach to things. It's like, hey, I already know this, you don't need to tell me. However, just for the sake of getting an explanation, because I want to explain it to you anyway, I'll say yes. Then the future champions got you covered. First things first, you talk to the lady at the counter if you want your Pokemon healed up. And Pokemon you catch are kept in computers like the one you can find here, see? After all, you can only bring 6 Pokemon with you on the road in your party. The potions they sell at the Pokemart got me out of a real rough spot the other day. If you two kids are Pokemon trainers, you might want to buy some potions before you head out. Cheers! I'm already good though. I'm heading to Route 2, Marriland. Come find me maybe when you're done here. And he's gone. Alright, but there's something else that was not mentioned, and that is this guy. Oh man, let me tell you, this is definitely one of the most welcome changes to the Pokemon experience. Definitely overpowered, but boy is it helpful. It just makes things so much better. So you can talk to him, and he has 3 functions right off the bat. More functions do get added later, but yes, he is the name rater, so he can name your Pokemon. He can give them a nickname if they don't already have one, or if they already have a nickname and it's a Pokemon that you caught, then you can change the name there. Now, this is different from the past name rater, so I don't have an example to show you here, but hypothetically, let's say I traded for this Hoot Hoot. Let's say this Hoot Hoot wasn't mine, it was one I got in a trade. If it was just given the default name of Hoot Hoot, despite not being a traded Pokemon, you can rename it once to a name of your choosing. So if you get things over, well, the new Wonder Trade called Surprise Trade, or if you're trading with other players and they didn't give their Pokemon a nickname, you actually will have the ability to give it a nickname. Only once, because once it has a nickname, it can't be changed, and if it does, well, let me rephrase that. If it's a Pokemon that you got in a trade and it has a nickname, you can't trade it. You can nickname any of your Pokemon however many times you'd like. Whoops, this isn't what I wanted to do. All right, so 2 other things that are very useful. There's Forget a Move down here, which is similar to the Move Deleter. It will delete a move on a Pokemon. You don't always want to use this. In fact, very rarely will you actually have a need for it. But it's there just in case, and that's, you know, it's good to have. But this is super important. Remember a move. So the quote-unquote move relearners, as they're oftentimes called in games, although oftentimes you'll hear them as like reminders, or they come up with all sorts of different names. But whatever the case, this is basically the functionality where if you gave someone or one of your Pokemon a heart scale, well, if you gave the person a heart scale, they would then allow you to reteach any move on the Pokemon's level up list. And starting with Gen 6, any egg moves that it had, but had forgotten. So, like, let's say you got 4 different egg moves on a Pokemon that they can only get through eggs and breeding. Well, even if you remove those egg moves while leveling up or teaching TMs, you could still relearn any of those. It doesn't give you access to all of the egg moves, but yeah. Anyway, that functionality is now free from the beginning of the game. meaning you can relearn any move that you forget. So if you kind of second guess yourself like, man, I really wish I didn't get rid of this move, you no longer have to wait until the end of the game or way later in the game. You can just straight up relearn it. Now, I don't believe I have any Pokemon capable of this, but it's such a useful feature. And it's very valuable to check too, especially as your Pokemon evolve, because oftentimes they will have moves that they learn, quote unquote, at level 1. So they're technically moves that are available, but they're moves that they couldn't get normally. Because, you know, it would have already passed their level. So like as your starters reach their final evolutions and as you get more Pokemon in the wild, definitely go back to see if there's any interesting moves it can learn through the Remember a Move function. And it's free. You can do it as many times as you want. It's totally fine. One difference, if you're used to how it was in Pokemon Sun, Moon, Ultra Sun, or Ultra Moon, you no longer get the ability to learn moves that you haven't already gained the level for. Like, that was something they changed in Sun and Moon. I'm glad they removed that, because I think that really wasn't as good an experience if you have to wait until the end of the game for it. Oh, you know what? Hold on. I completely forgot to heal up my Pokemon, right? So, yeah, my Pokemon, they are a little on the weak side from all that fighting. Thanks, Hoot Hoot. So we just need to talk to the lady here, and she will heal up my Pokemon. This will also heal any Pokemon in your PC that have been weakened, because Pokemon do end up injured in the PC. Like if I were to deposit them, it no longer auto heals them, which is fine. You just need to go to a Pokemon Center. Anyway, over here's the Pokemart. You can buy or sell items here, and from the get-go you have potions, which they're definitely good to have. You probably don't need a ton of them right now. In fact, I'll tell you why in just a moment. There's antidotes to heal poisoning, burn heal to heal burn, ice heal to heal when you're frozen, awakening to heal it if your Pokemon falls asleep, paralyze heal to heal if your Pokemon's been paralyzed, and you can buy revives right from the get-go. They're expensive, but they do restore your Pokemon if it fainted with half of its max HP. So pretty handy to have, although I wouldn't really recommend buying anything right now, because honestly, if any of your Pokemon faint, you're really better off just going back to the Pokemon Center and healing up. It's really only if you're in those very long dungeons or areas to explore that you can't easily get out of that it'd be better to have a revive. But why shouldn't you buy those items? Well, let me tell you. You can go over here. Berries! I've got your fresh picked berries. What do you say? Interested in something? Why, yes, as a matter of fact, I am. So these orange berries, cherry berries, and pecha berries, they only cost 80 Poké Dollars, or prize money. And they have basically the same effect. So pecha berries, they heal your Pokemon from being poisoned. Cherry berries heal your Pokemon from being paralyzed. These are definitely two of the more common status conditions. So I'll go ahead and buy 4 of each. Or, I'm sorry, 5 of each for 400. Now, orange berries, they heal a Pokemon by 10 HP, but it costs less than half of the 200 that a potion costs. So they're actually more economic for you. And on top of that, you can hold any of these berries. You can have your Pokemon hold them, and they will use that effect whenever they need it. So in the case of an orange berry, when my Score Bunny, if it's holding this, whenever its HP gets kind of low, it'll automatically eat the berry and use its effect to heal HP. If I gave it a Pecha Berry or Cherry Berry, whenever it gets that status condition, it will automatically heal it instead. Now, a Pokemon can only have one held item, and once these berries are used, they are gone for good. But they're really easy to buy back, and it's really nice healing. And there's things you'll need berries for later, so don't rip yourself off and buy those healing items over there. Potions are still not a bad idea to have a few of, because you can use those to heal in battle for a full 20. But you can still use any of those items outside of battle. Okay, so this is the boutique, which is wonderful. Clothes are very exciting. But there's also a Polka Doll over here. So you can use this item during a wild Pokemon battle, and you'll automatically run from the fight. Now, these were traditionally relatively useless, but they're a lot more useful in this game due to certain strong Pokemon that can appear. So don't discard them, don't discount them. They are pretty useful. Okay, the boutique. Clothes! Oh, there's a good selection of clothes. Oh my gosh, there's so much. What I'm gonna do, because I wanna go through all of the new clothes for both boys and girls, I will do that at the end of this video. So stick around for that. We're going to check that out at the very end, so you'll see. But I don't want to waste your time with that, because I'll probably be there for about 2 or 3 hours. Oh, I love trainer customization in pretty much any Pokemon game, but I feel like they have a lot of really nice options here. So this lady here lets you set your birthday, and yeah, I'm not 100% sure what this affects, to be honest, but we'll go ahead and enter it anyway. So the month that I was born in the month of 9. And the day I was born on the day of 6. I got it. So your birthday is on 9/6? Yes. Okay, so yeah, my fortune is... yeah. Gonna be super duper lucky. Might even run into a legendary Pokemon, or maybe not. Yeah, I don't fully know what that does. I'll do a little bit of exploration with that later. I'm sure comments will probably tell me. But yeah, anyway, as we move further along here, listen, Marriland, I've been thinking, if you're a Pokemon trainer now, you must want to try your hand at the Gym Challenge, right? The Gym Challenge? Or what's that? The Gym Challenge, mate! The annual competition where trainers can battle it out for the right to challenge the champion. But the trick is that you've got to be endorsed if you want to take part. And Lee doesn't think I'm up to snuff, so I'm thinking I ought to talk to the professor and see if she could help. You've got to take part too. A proper rival is just the thing every trainer needs to keep growing stronger after all. Keeps you motivated, right? The professor's house is way down at the end of Route 2, so let's head there and give our teams the chance to train up a bit along the way. Sounds good, mate! Yeah, so... Anyway, this is the rest of Wedgehurst here. It's not really that exciting. There's like a house you can go into. Nothing much in it, but there is a hidden item that you can find over by this rock. So, hidden items, traditionally in Pokemon games, were just that, hidden. You wouldn't really have an indicator that they're there. However, thankfully nowadays, in Sword and Shield, every now and then you'll see a little sparkle on the ground. And that indicates there's a hidden item there. So you gotta be on the lookout for these. I'm gonna go ahead and pick this one up because it's a revive. Very handy, and as you saw earlier, quite expensive. So definitely a good pickup for sure. Anyway, right down there is the way to Route 2. But we gotta check out clothes. Alright, so here's the full look of clothes if you are a boy. I'm just gonna scroll through them and take about maybe a second or two while going through each one. This one is very expensive, but looks really cool. Alright, so those are all of the shirts, but you can also get hoodies that go over the shirts, which is very handy. So, like, if I got this black loose top here, I could wear a hoodie on top of it. Here are the trousers. And some socks. And some loafers, which are much more expensive. Finally, you can change your bag. And by the way, you can use the right control stick to rotate your character's model there. Some nice hats. Glasses! Yay! And lastly, gloves. So those are what you can get if you're playing as the boy. Let's go ahead and take a look at the clothing options if you're playing as a girl. You know, you actually can't see these very well with without a mini skirt on, so hold on just a moment. I'm just gonna get a black pleated mini skirt here, and then we'll be able to actually check out these socks and tights and stuff a little bit better. All right, here we go. Alright, and just like that, I dropped an unhealthy amount of money, but in the name of fashion, of course. I'm just trying something a little different, but yeah, I love all the different options you have here, so I think I'll go orange for now. Oh yeah, well, kind of an orange. I like it. It'll get the job done. But yeah, anyway, now it's time to head on to Route 2. That's it for this video. Thanks for watching, everyone. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please consider liking the video, subscribing to my YouTube channel, and turn on notifications to get updated. Be sure to check out my website for more Pokemon Sword and Shield coverage, including a full mobile-friendly Pokédex, a powerful team builder, and a written walkthrough. See you next time!